I'll never forget it. The morning she left me. After we had been together for 15 years. Oh, wait, wrong video. Whoops. I'll never forget the morning Giancarlo Stanton was traded to the Yankees. There we go. Yeah, that was crazy. Aaron Judge was just coming off his ridiculous rookie season that should have resulted in an MVP added to his Rookie of the Year award. And who is Aaron Judge? A tall, big, strong man who hits a ton of home runs. And who is Giancarlo Stanton? The man the Yankees had just added at the time, a tall, big, strong man who hits a ton of home runs. They already had the same exact type of player. Why not make that too? Yeah, consider this a warning to the rest of the league. How could any team, especially the Red Sox, their rival, recover from the Yankees cloning their best player?
Actually, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
And a cut and a miss, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Way down in there. Fastball on that outside edge. And a cut and a miss. Stanton out on strikes for the third time today. And a cut and a miss. He went up with him and picks up a big strikeout. Big out right there for Brewer.
Swing and a miss. And how about this crowd? That's a little harsh, booing him with the 5 strikeouts in a game in which the Yankees are leading 9-4.
That ball's ripped down the right field line. That is a fair ball home run and the cycle for Brock Holt. Stanton has grounded out 3 times tonight. And Summons would love another one right here to turn 2. Here's a 1-2 and a swing and a miss. And Stanton is down. And that's it. The Boston Red Sox win the division series 3 out of 4 against the Yankees.
Really quick as always, if you're part of the 51% of viewers not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button if you enjoy the videos, as when the Yankees traded for Stanton, it just seems so perfect for them. In fact, so much to the point people were accusing Derek Jeter of fleecing the Marlins from within, and you might think that's a joke, and I'm sure many people said it as a joke. But I'm sure other people weren't saying that as a joke. And considering Jeter ended up leaving the Marlins and giving up his 4% stake in the franchise a few years after this without doing much to make things better for the Marlins, those people may have had a point. And now that we're on the topic of conspiracies, there's something real convenient about Stanton later that we'll get to. But it is crazy to think about the Marlins having Giancarlo Stanton, Christian Yelich, Marcell Ozuna, and JT Realmuto all at once and get let me see. Nothing for any of them in trades. Okay, they got Sandy Alcantara and Zach Gallen, who they turned into Jazz Chisholm for Ozuna. It's easy to then say they've wasted both of those guys. Jazz ended up on the Yankees anyway. But the Marlins barely do anything right, so let's just give them a win for that one. But yeah, other than the Ozuna trade, they got nothing from those trades, and if anything, the Ozuna trade should have gotten the least valuable package in return. With the Stanton trade, a big get for the Marlins out of that was to get rid of his contract, his 13-year, $325 million contract. So they put a more valuable return from the Yankees on the back burn in exchange for that money off their hands. The Yankees obviously don't have much of a problem paying big contracts, so at the time, yeah, it seemed like a steal. It's basically like they were signing Stanton to a contract themselves. So again, it seemed like an absolute steal from the Yankees end. They get the literal MVP coming off of 59 home runs, now joining a rising star in Aaron Judge, and it was going to be great. I mean, a star like Stanton deserves to play in front of big crowds in the middle of playoff chases every year, not Miami. His career was already going well, and this next chapter in New York seemed like it was going to take things to the next level. But 7 years later, not only has Stanton's time as a Yankee been a disappointment, but he's become the most expensive bust in baseball. You can't call him the worst bust. I refuse to do that because it really doesn't get any worse than Anthony Rendon, who has barely played and doesn't care to, or Steven Strasburg, who had to retire halfway through his contract after not even throwing 40 innings over the course of 3 seasons. But Stanton's is still not good, and it's a little bit different of a situation. I know I showed him striking out a bunch of times earlier before the Red Sox went on to beat the Yankees in the playoffs and win the World Series that same year, but ironically, that was actually his best season as a Yankee. He played almost every single game, swatted 38 home runs, 100 RBIs. He was way above average of a hitter that year. He was really good after a slow start. It's 2019 when the bad began. He played the first 3 games of that season, hit the injured list, came back in June for 6 games, went back on the injured list, came back 3 months later to finish the season into the postseason. Stanton played a total of 18 games that year, 23 if you want to include the playoffs. 2020 2020, he only played 23 games in the already shortened season, and then 2021 was his last good season. Like, full year that was good. Stanton has a thing for putting up his best seasons when the Red Sox are good and end up deciding the Yankees' fate. There was also this iconic Stantonian blast, who could forget?
Deep left, it is high, it is far, it is gone, out of the ballpark. A Stantonian home run. Now, what did I do wrong? What did I see wrong? He's at first base.
But yeah, Stanton had a really good year. Bad news for any Yankees fans watching this in 2021, though. The years that have followed have only been similar to 2019. Now, it's not like he's played 0 games like he practically did in 2019. Again, he's not Anthony Rendon, but he's just been very held back with injuries. I mean, he had some moments in 2022. He literally won All-Star Game MVP and smacked a walk-off grand slam the same night Aaron Judge tied Babe Ruth for American League home runs in a season. When you see that, you'd think he had a great season. And it wasn't bad, just good, not good. You know what I mean? Just like good, but his second half was dreadful. Like, he was objectively awful for the last 3 months of that season. He didn't hit well in the 101 games he played in 2023, hit much better in 2024, but still missed about 50 games. And again, it wasn't the kind of good you'd hope from a guy making $32 million. Then to make matters even worse, Stanton has had just about the worst spring training of his life this year. Both of his elbows are so banged up he's going to miss the start of the season, even after getting injections in both of them. And he also has been away from the team dealing with a personal matter. Remember when I brought up conspiracy theories earlier? Not to create any, but pretty wild for this to be happening right after the Yankees trade for Cody Bellinger, a man who's married and has kids with Stanton's ex. Obviously, none of this likely has anything to do with that, even that personal matter, whatever it may be. But I mean, Stanton has never missed an opening day in his entire life. Not even when he played 18 games in a season in 2019. He was still at least good for opening day. How crazy is that to just so time up when Bellinger joins the team? So another injury-riddled year looks to be ahead of Stanton and the Yankees, who also have other injuries they're dealing with. But with Stanton specifically, he's not getting any younger. He's got another $32 million on the books this year, and then another $34 million over 2026 and 2027 combined, before a club option for 2028, which the Yankees will obviously decline, barring a greater plot twist than the ending of your average M. Night Shyamalan movie. What sucks most of all, I mean, from a Red Sox standpoint, you can't complain about what's going on. He kills them. But in a general sense, what sucks is the idea of just how good Stanton could have been if he wasn't as fragile as Humpty Dumpty. He was on track for a Hall of Fame career after leaving Miami, and even after his first year in New York. Stanton, not Humpty Dumpty. If he wasn't hurt all the time, which I know is a big ask, you can't just snap your fingers and have that be changed, but if he was at least a little bit more healthy, he would probably be a Hall of Famer. I mean, nobody hits baseballs as hard as Stanton. It's crazy. Yeah, he may have a lot of swing and miss in his game. He may not be the overall hitter Aaron Judge is, but he's still a monster when healthy. Just look at what he did in the postseason last year. He was sick. 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. That's the kind of player he is at its core. But unfortunately, since 2019, he's for the most part been an overpaid situation the Yankees are stuck with. Now, is it better than him rotting in Miami? Of course, at least for Stanton it is. For the Yankees, it's weird because, again, he goes crazy at times, and it looks like it's worth it, like last postseason, but overall, it's been a very, very big letdown, and there's only so much time left to change that narrative. And all we can hope for right now is another M. Night Shyamalan plot twist, for him to somehow turn this all around. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching.